Alright guys, so today we're going to be checking out the HarmonicDyne Athena headphones. Now we've checked out some headphones from HarmonicDyne before. We've checked out the Zeus, which was one of those pairs that not only had like a really unique look, but it gave you a lot for your money. So I was very interested in checking out the Athenas, which kind of look similar to the Zeus, but instead of being a completely open back headphone, they're considered to be a semi-closed back pair of headphones. And I haven't checked out a lot of these on the channel, so again, that was something that was intriguing. But another thing is, these were supposed to offer a lot of characteristics when it comes to sound compared to more expensive headphones, but these come in at $179. So this is basically like a pair of headphones that would be good for an audiophile on a budget. But we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about what all comes inside the box and see why this may be a hell of a bargain coming in at $179. So let's go ahead and start with the packaging. It's extremely simple. The box itself is just this big blue box, but in the box you're getting a detachable 3.5mm cable. It does plug into both sides of the ear cups, and then like I said, you have the regular 3.5mm on one end. It also comes with a 1/4" adapter. They also give you like a little coin that's inside that has a serial number for your headphones. And then it comes with a simple just pouch to keep the headphones in. But going back to the cable, I do like that it has like a braided fabric to it. These are not ones that pick up noise if it's rubbing up against anything. So if you're somebody that's used to using headphones with a cable, you know how it can be when headphones are rubbing up against things that you can hear it in the headphones. And that is not the case with these. The drivers they're using are 50mm metal ceramic drivers. The headphones themselves feel extremely light. It does kind of have like a leather look at the top, but it's using a fabric as far as the headband goes. There's enough padding here because, again, the headphones are light. And the ear pads that they're using are this soft suede. I mean, this is some of the softest material that I've felt on an ear pad. There's not a tight clamping force on here, so this is a very comfortable pair of headphones to use. And then on the outside, these have glass face plates. Now they're using what they're calling an M-shaped venting system, and this is what makes them semi-closed because this allows your sound to kind of escape, which means this is a pair that leaks a lot of sound. It leaks a lot of sound like as if it's a pair of open back headphones. I didn't notice much difference as far as sound leakage goes between an open back and these. I mean, these are going to be heard no matter who's around you, so do keep that in mind. So I would consider this a pair that you're just going to use while you're at home. I don't think this is a commuting type pair or one that you would want to use anywhere outdoors. Now the headphones do swivel where the ear pads are facing outwards, so if you're wearing them around your neck, this is a way that you can keep them comfortable and not having them rub up against your face. The impedance level on these come in at 32 ohms. This is one of those pairs that's very, very easy to drive. You can plug it straight into your phone, straight into your Switch, your laptop, your desktop, whatever. You're not going to have any issue getting decent volume levels out of these, but I am still going to say, with this pair, to get the absolute most out of your bass, out of your mids and the treble, I do recommend an amp. And that's mainly because it's going to push those frequencies a little bit more than just plugging straight into a device. But it is nice to know, like on the go, which again, I don't recommend using on the go, that you can just plug them straight into whatever you have. Now jumping right into the sound, the frequency response on these goes from 10 hertz all the way to 70 kilohertz. And the overall sound out of the box is a very natural, warm sound. Now it does have the bass having quite a bit of punch. The bass is slightly boosted here, but they do a very good job of keeping it tight. But the bass is what I think is causing the overall warm sound that these have, because the mids don't feel like they're touched at all. The mids feel extremely natural. They feel like they're staying neutral no matter what genre I'm listening to, but luckily they never fall back if I'm listening to something more chaotic or just listening to something simple. The mids, I feel like, do a very good job of pulling out vocals, and the treble on these have a nice detailed sound, but it's not a bright sound, and that's, again, just the way that it is out of the box, because once you plug them into an amp, it brings these headphones completely to life. I mean, the bass you can give a very decent amount of punch to. I mean, these can be a really bass heavy pair of headphones, which again is going to add to the warmth that these have, but it also can have the treble be quite bright, which I'm a huge fan of. So I did prefer using these plugged into an amp just so that I can get a little bit more out of the treble. Again, it became just this really dynamic sounding pair, which you normally, don't expect with an open back or semi-open back pair of headphones. So I was very pleased with the sound that these had overall. And then when it comes to the sound stage and the sound imaging, because again, it's a semi-closed pair and not a completely closed pair, it definitely sounds much wider and open than a lot of closed back headphones. There's plenty of space in the sound, and I had absolutely no issue. In fact, I really enjoyed how well these picked apart where different sounds were coming from. So if I had to break it down into the different categories, if you listen to mainly pop and hip hop, this is where I would give it its lowest rating, coming in at an 8. And that's mainly because out of the box, you're not getting enough treble, in my opinion, to balance out with the bass that these have. And if you're going to listen to rock or metal, this is where I give these a 10. Because the bass gives you that punch, you can feel the double bass of the drums, but you're not lacking when it comes to vocalists or guitars or the details of the cymbals crashing. It just sounds fantastic with rock and metal. Now, when it comes to easy listening, again, because like I said, it does a really good job with vocalists, and that warm sound makes things sound really natural, I would give it a 10 here as well. And then if you're going to use them for media, like gaming and movies and different things like that, I would give it a 9. And the only reason I don't give these a 10 here is because the mids aren't boosted. If you're going to be playing them with certain games, you're going to wish that dialogue was just pushed a little bit more forward. That's just personal preference, but again, if you're plugging into an amp, you're going to be able to get them to do that. So keep that in mind. And so my overall opinion on these is a solid 9. I just, the way that I look at these from a value standpoint, these punch well above their price tag. I think the build quality is the only thing that really doesn't match the price tag or doesn't make you feel like you're getting something special. But sonically, the way that these are tuned and the sound that you're getting out of these, again, I think they just compare to a lot more expensive models. So if you're looking kind of, again, like an audiophile on a budget, or if you're just an audiophile and you're wanting a new pair of headphones, I think these are very interesting, and they're very unique because of what you're getting sound-wise in this price range. I wasn't expecting the sound that I was getting. I was a little disappointed in the build because it's just this lightweight, plastic, cheap-feeling pair of headphones. But, if you're using them at home and you're not using them on the go, you don't really have to worry about these breaking or being in a situation where they could get damaged as easily. So yes, I definitely recommend them, especially if you're in the market looking for a good pair of headphones to use at home. But guys, that wraps up my video on the HarmonicDyne Athenas. Thank you so much for checking out this video. Thank you so much for checking out all the other videos. And as always, make sure to stay tuned for more.